Welcome everyone, Tactical Lich here. Today we have a battle replay sent in by General Isambard featuring a heavyweight sumo wrestling match. Now both sides are using Ogre Kingdoms, but their builds are quite different. General Isambard going for a typical spam of Nobbler Trappers and Nobblers. And then we have a single piece of artillery in the middle, Iron Blaster. At the back there, 4 units of Ogre Bulls with dual weapons, probably trying to go anti-infantry heavy so that they can deal with all those Nobbler chaff. For the single entities and extremely expensive monster pieces, we have Sky Striders guarding a Stonehorn and the Slaughtermaster of Great Maul coming in with extra ingredients, Bull Gorger and Troll Guts. As for abilities and items going for the full loadout, we have Blood Cleaver, Blood Gruel, Belly Slapper and also Greedy Fist. On the other side, for the red team, forgot about the Vanguard deployment, a single unit of Vanguard deployed Nobbler Trappers on the side, and that's it for General Isambard's army build. For the red team, now we have a front line of Nobbler Trappers, 4 of them in fact backed up by 5 Nobblers, and then further back we have a whole lot of Man-Eaters and Ogre Bulls mixed in together with a single unit of Powder Guts, providing quite a bit of a melee line of just anti-large armor piercing. Further back, Sky Striders guarding the Slaughtermaster of the Great Maul, who is coming in only with Troll Guts, Tooth Cracker, Blood Cleaver, and Blood Gruel. That's basically it for both army builds. Now let's get the battle started. At the start, General Isambard with his range advantage with his Iron Blaster volley gun. 380 range will be opening up onto the Powder Guts, who are taking substantial damage from the massive cannonballs. You can see that they are already taken out quite a few of that HP, and the Powder Guts with only 160 range will need to approach closer before they can actually fire. So we will do a bit of fast forward as the red Ogre army is approaching the green one. On the other side there, the Nobbler Trappers are sneaking towards the back of the Red Ogre army, while the Powder Guts is moving in to start picking off some HP from the Stonehorn. The Green Nobbler line is moving up, trying to slow down enemy advance to buy more time for the Iron Blasters to fire. Oh, actually, more importantly, using their shots to really cost efficiently work down the Powder Guts' HP. At the back, the Ogre Bulls with dual weapons are also moving up, Stonehorns charging straight for the Slaughtermaster, going after the Lord Snipe, but not sure if it's a good idea because there are a lot of Man-Eaters with great weapons stationing at the back there, and also the Sky Striders. The Nobbler Trappers, perhaps the greater target for them other than the Ogre Bulls, is definitely the Man-Eaters with great weapons. They do not have any missile block chance and has low armor, so they will be taking very cost efficient damage if you can actually shoot them with the cheap missiles of Nobbler Trappers. However, it seems that the Trappers are mostly distracted by the Ogre Bulls, who are taking substantial damage, but definitely a good thing that the great weapon Man-Eaters are not taking that damage. At the back there, Powder Guts are receiving 1 Troll Gut healing, while the Stonehorn being pinned down by Ogre Bulls and Man-Eaters with great weapons is getting shredded by all those armor-piercing firepower and anti-large armor-piercing damage. The front line of the Green Ogre army is faltering, and the Iron Blaster, it has been shooting this whole time, getting quite a bit of value while still having over 14 volleys left. Now it will turn its eyes onto the Sky Striders trying to snipe out those expensive cavalry. Unfortunately for General Isambard, the Green Nobbler frontline is buckling and the Stonehorn has been beaten back. The overcasted Bull Gorger is largely wasted on this routing beast. Still, with a bit of healing, it should be able to come back. On the flank there, some dual weapon Ogre Bulls are charging into the backs of the Nobbler Trappers. The Nobbler Trappers will definitely get shredded by all those anti-infantry damage, but the thing is, there is not a lot of good options to deal with the Sky Striders and the Man-Eaters with great weapons right now, with all the Nobbler Trappers routed or distracted. Some of them are regrouping at the back there, but the Iron Blaster is currently focusing on the Sky Striders. Definitely a good call here, using those armor-piercing damage to maximum effect, especially with the penetrating shots, doing extra damage to all the Sky Strider models. The Ogre Bulls will be charging in, trying to stop that Iron Blaster from firing, but the heavy armor on the Iron Blaster means that it can tank out quite a bit of damage from the Ogre Bulls before being subdued. With things not working out in the middle, the Green Ogres are tackling their opponents from the flanks. Dual weapon Ogre Bulls beat back their opponents. They're now converging into the middle here. Some of the Nobbler Trappers, this one definitely sneaking from behind, is retaining most of their HP, now shooting into the fray, chipping away the health of Man-Eaters with great weapons and Ogre Bulls alike. The Ogre Bulls with dual weapons though is not having such a good time because they're dealing with some anti-large monstrous unit. The Man-Eaters with their superior melee stats, much better leadership and immune to psychology are holding in battle, while the Ogre Bulls themselves do not have that kind of luxury. So as soon as the Sky Striders move back, their leadership might just buckle from all those terror effect. At the back there, the Sky Striders of the green side has been pushed off, but with the Trollgut healing pushing them all the way to the healing cap, they should be able to come back and fight for a second round. On the far side, Iron Blaster keeps shooting and has already done significant damage to the Sky Striders now. Down to less than half health, they will be receiving a furious charge from the green Sky Striders. They're beaten back by some Man-Eaters once, but they are coming back with a vengeance. On the far side, two very tattered units of Nobblers are just duking it out with each other. The Ogre Bulls on the other side are doing the same thing with the Slaughtermaster in the mix as well. He is fighting in here, not doing a lot of damage, but more importantly just debuffing the surrounding Ogre Bulls with his Ballet Slapper, providing a very solid -8 melee attack effect. However, once he left this engagement, these Ogre Bulls will just shred through the Ogre Bulls with dual weapons because they do not have the support of the Nobblers themselves, while the red Nobblers are swarming all these Ogre Bulls while shielding hits for the red Ogre Bulls. At the back there, the green Sky Striders with their charge bonus managed to wreck those red Sky Striders, beating them back for now, and will be moving on to the next target, which is the Slaughtermaster guarded by the Man-Eaters with great weapons. Nobbler Trappers now shooting at the Powder Guts here, doing some very cost-efficient damage. However, there are still quite a few unit models left on these elite Ogre Pistols, so they should be able to get some heals and keep fighting. Now, both armies have their units scattered all over the battlefield and will take a bit of time to recollect them, so we'll go into a bit of fast forward. The green Sky Striders are taking a lot of damage from the Man-Eaters with great weapons, while the red Sky Striders are face tanking some Iron Blaster shots with the Tooth Cracker on them. Two models got shot on the way in, one model got killed, the other one survived. Now they are engaging the Iron Blaster in melee combat, chipping away its health with the nice anti-large armor piercing damage, but due to its own units blocking their way, they can't really get a full contact onto the Iron Blaster, allowing it to scoot away with a bit of Troll Guts keeping its HP high, while the Green Sky Striders now are hunting down the Powder Guts. They're very weak right now and is even losing combat, but this might actually work in their favor because the Powder Guts does not get their plus 24 melee attack and defense bonus when they're winning combat. So the Sky Striders will be doing some very cost-efficient damage to the Powder Guts, while the Red Ogres are converging into a massive blob of Man-Eaters, Ogre Bulls, and Nobblers, charging straight for the Iron Blaster, while the Sky Strider eating those Iron Blaster shots point blank. Really unfortunate for them, and they are now down to 2 unit models and the last 500 HP. Now this entire blob is slowed down by Dismember. A very clever use of ability from General Eisenbart there, and now down to 1 unit model. The red Sky Strider is truly routed, might still be coming back, but not quite sure how much effect it has on the entire combat. Now at the back there are some green Ogre units coming back. Nobblers, Nobbler, Trappers, and some Ogre Bulls with dual weapons. But the main issue is all these Man-Eaters with great weapons. They still have 8 models left on this unit. The other unit is not sure. Actually, let's see. Yep. Still have 3 unit models. These guys are pretty much out of combat then. But the 8 unit model one can still receive quite a bit of healing to heal them back up to around half health. And there are still some Ogre Bulls to take hits for them, so it can still be a sizable force to reckon with. The balance of power is in favor of the green Ogres, but that is partly because of the Iron Blaster, who is extremely healthy and is now shooting at that one lone Sky Strider. This is definitely a mistake here because they need to take out the Man-Eaters in the engagement right here. The Man-Eaters are piling onto the green Slaughtermaster and is forming a perfect shape for a Iron Blaster shot to penetrate them. But alas, the Iron Blaster is still distracted by the Sky Striders and will be unloading the last couple shots into the fleeing unit. The Iron Blaster is pretty much the only thing for the green Ogres to deal with the Man-Eaters, and definitely a big mistake from General Eisenbart. After that, they will have to rely on the Iron Blaster cycle charging into the fray to work down the Man-Eaters, but definitely the Red Ogre army will be dropping more Troll Guts or perhaps Butcher if they have any healing onto the Man-Eater great weapons to keep them in the fight. The Green Ogre army doesn't really have the units to work them down. There are some Nobbler Trappers still firing, but they can be easily shut down by a combination of Ogre Bulls and Nobblers, while the last shot from the Iron Blaster has been emptied into the Nobbler. Big mistake right there, because right now the Man-Eaters with great weapons are receiving a massive Troll Gut, providing some healing to keep them in the fight, and still having 8 unit models. Again, they just have enough DPS to work down a lot of units here. For example, the Iron Blaster being surrounded by Ogre Bulls and Man-Eaters with great weapons taking significant damage. The green Ogre side is now slowly working down all those Nobbler Trappers and whatnot. Even the Slaughtermaster is getting hunted down, but the thing is that balance of power is shifting into the favor, or at least towards the middle, for the Red Ogre army. And now with the Iron Blaster routed once, the remaining units are forced to engage the healed up Man-Eaters and the Red Slaughtermaster. The green Ogre Bulls and Nobblers are too tattered and are quickly routed. The green Slaughtermaster is still very healthy right now, but so is the red Slaughtermaster. Although he is close to his heal cap, he does have the support of the Man-Eaters with great weapons at around quarter of their HP. While on the other side there, the Iron Blaster is slowly worked down by the remaining Ogre Bulls, leaving only the lone Slaughtermaster against everything else the Red Ogre army possess. We'll go back to fast forward one last time. The green Slaughtermaster surrounded by elite anti-large monsters who also have immune to psychology, which is partly why they are holding in the late game. This is simply too much for the green Ogre Lord to deal with, and with that, the Red Ogre army will be having a cannibalistic dinner tonight. GG to both players here. I do think that General Isambard has a good chance of winning this battle, but unfortunately, the mistake with the Iron Blaster in the end cost him his game. The Iron Blaster did a lot of good damage here, doing massive hurt to the Sky Striders and some other key units of the Ogre Kingdoms, including the Powder Guts. Well, I said Ogre Kingdoms, but the Red Ogre Kingdoms, Pando. Now, the other units here, the Sky Striders, did really well. They got the nice buffs from the green Slaughtermaster with the Bull Gorger, and also just having good charges overall. It's just that in the end, they could not outtrade the Man-Eaters with great weapons, despite their Regiment of Renown status, because they have similar stats to the Man-Eaters, and Man-Eaters have more models than these monstrous cavalry. For the rest of the army here, Stonehorns got wrecked by the Man-Eaters early, and the Ogre Bulls, despite their dual weapons help them clear out a lot of the Nobbler chaff, they just don't have the stats to challenge the Man-Eaters with great weapons. Nobbler Trappers did really well. Some of them got a lot of damage value done to the Ogre Pistols, the Powder Guts, and the rest of the army didn't do much damage, including the Slaughtermaster himself. For the Red Ogre Kingdom's Pando side, the Slaughtermaster didn't do much, and the Sky Striders without any melee buffs other than the protection from Toothcracker, which is not great in this matchup, other than tanking those Iron Blaster shots. Even with the additional missile resistance, the Iron Blaster can still wreck them with those armor piercing and penetration. So it really comes down to the Man-Eaters. 3,400 value on this one, and a silver chevron. Definitely did a lot of heavy lifting here. And remember, they only cost 1,400 gold, which is significantly cheaper than Sky Striders. The other great weapon Man-Eaters also did some really solid damage. For the rest of the army here, the two Ogre Bulls didn't do much damage. This one definitely surrounded and beat down the Iron Blaster. And the Nobblers didn't do much damage here, being out-traded by the dual weapon Ogre Bulls. Got wrecked with the anti-infantry bonus. The Ogre Pistol Powder Guts did some solid damage though, with their armor-piercing missiles and armor-piercing attacks. And that's it for today's battle. I hope you all enjoy it, and if you want to see more Total Warhammer multiplayer action, be sure to subscribe to my channel and keep an eye out for new videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Tacticallich, signing out.